right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the GSL Team League. There he is, Mr. Lenok and Slayers MMA. These two warriors of the keyboard and mouse are about to square off in a virtual arena of death known as Metropolis. The winner of this game will bring their team to a 4-3 lead and virtually clinch this very important match.
Exactly. And Moltup, people have been tweeting on me on Twitter, by the way. My Twitter is KH if you want to follow me. And Moltup is at Moltup.
That's right.
But people have been tweeting a little bit about the choice of Ultralisks for Lucky in the last game. And the main problem is if you want to use Broodlords on Antigua, then you have a really big problem at your hand because they are really slow and immobile. So Ultralisks are very often the weapon of choice for Zerg players on this particular map. But we are heading into Metropolis. We have Lenok facing MMA. An epic match is coming up. Another ZBT and Moltup. Well, I can't wait.
All right, and up here at the 12 o'clock position of the map is our Zerg player. Can he do what his teammate could not? He is.
FXOpen and
There he is. Chewing gum or something like that.
At the bottom of the map we have his opponent being able to defeat Lucky, and now he's up against Lenok. It is
Slayers MMA.
Slayers MMA on Metropolis, a very, very big map. It's the GSL version of the map, so you can't spawn on close positions. And this is a huge map, which is pretty good for Zerg because you can just expand in so many places. But for the Terran player, it's also kind of easy to get like 4 to 5 bases if you're able to get into the mid game. And this particular position for the barracks is, by the way, a result. We've seen this on close position. I've seen it once when
FXO boss told me to say hi and that he is coming for you. Interesting.
Okay. Well, coming back to that barracks, what you can do when your opponent is trying to sneak an overlord into your main base, you build one marine and then you fly over to the other side of the ground and you trap the overlord within your base, which is pretty cool. So you basically have one free overlord. With positions as they are being crossed, it doesn't really work all that well. It only happens when you start on close position just to give you that small information. But as I already mentioned earlier, close positions are not possible in the GSL version, so it's not really all that important. But MMA throwing down the command center after he finished the barracks. And well, let's see how this map turns out. I talked a little bit to Mr. Che before the games today, and he mentioned that Metropolis is the way the map works. It's a little bit similar to Terminus. So it's kind of interesting to get that third base, and usually you're able to defend against it very well. We've seen this rod mechanic on the map as well. And as soon as you get into the mid game and you get more than 3 bases, you're aiming for the 4th. You can't just defend those 2 small entrances to your main base, and then you're in a very good position to take even a 5th base and secure it with a couple of tower turrets so that there are no Mutalisks. But
Bunker's being cute here, by the way. Marine's going to come up here and harass the drone. It looks like the drone might get the SCV. Oh, no! Oh! Turns into an extractor just in time.
He's already building Zerglings.
I don't think anything's going to complete. It's just a little bit of pressure.
Just trying to put a little bit of pressure, but the SCV is about to die.
Oh, actually the bunker might complete if those Zerglings don't get it. Ah! He cancels the extractor to try and... Oh, no! It completes!
Oh, wow. That was not supposed to happen. That SCV just snuck into its safe place, I guess.
Yeah, that was... Oh, man, that was really unlucky. Lenok didn't take that seriously enough because, well, it wasn't that big of a threat. He should have easily been able to kill that SCV, but he just didn't. Now he's going to recycle that bunker, and Marine was going to try and scout, but a lot of Zerglings made in response to that. That is not what he wanted to make.
Yeah.
He did not want to make I think he spent 5 or 6 larvae on Zerglings there that he wouldn't have had to if he'd stopped that SCV.
Definitely, so that were way too many Zerglings that he had just to build. He is about to get speed, by the way. And, well, at the same time, once again, on this map, Mutalisks are really good because you can harass so many positions. But now, Linux is just trying to put a little pressure onto the main base. You can already see that it's pretty easy to defend this first base because you have the rocks, you have a kind of a small route into the main base, and you can use siege tanks onto the high ground as well.
But, by the way, I just want to mention something that a couple of people have tweeted me about. It's apparently not been clear, and actually a couple of people asked me in the audience here today, this is a best of 9. So it is the first team to get 5 wins, not 4 like the previous seasons. So that's why when I said virtually secured, I literally meant virtually, not... I literally meant not literally, if that makes sense, in that the winner of this game will be in a very, very strong position, but they will not technically have won yet. So just wanted to clear that up. This is a best of 9. But again, the winner of this game is going to be at 4-3 with their strongest player in the chair. So super, super important match.
And the Hellions now trying to clear Xel'Naga Watchtowers, but alone by the time that they need to travel from one base to another, you can already see how huge this map is. Linux is now trying to kill the rocks in the back of his base in order to secure himself a possible third. He's going for the +1 armor upgrade, now just starting to add gas so that he can start with his lair tech. And the Hellions trying to sneak in the Spinecrawler. He skipped it so far, trying to cut some corners. Now building the Spinecrawler, the 2 queens are in the front in order to deal with the Hellion threat. The rock's not done just yet, and therefore no third base. Something that MMA just scouted.
Yep, he's going to be able to get down there and take that third before too long. He's already got creep spreading that direction. Very nicely done. And we've seen Lenok going ahead and getting a Baneley Nest and Carapace level 1. So far we've seen Lucky, you know, try and get ahead in upgrades, going double upgrades every time. Lenok not doing that this time, instead opting just for Carapace upgrades for the moment.
I am really interested in seeing how exactly MMA is going to play this map, because as I already mentioned, once you have a big enough army in order to secure all those positions, you will basically have the option of getting 5 bases if you have an army strong enough to cover those 2 entrances into the bottom left part of the map.
Oh, true.
So let's see if he's trying to do exactly this, or if he's trying to use his drop play and be a little more aggressive. But he already built a 3rd command center. He's just now trying to fly it over to the location where he can saturate another line of minerals. The same goes for Lenok. He's already expanding once again. Overlords everywhere, scouting, and we have the Spire play. As I mentioned, Mutalisks really good on Metropolis, so he's going for the Spire.
Mutalisks also very good on Lenok. And he has crept up. That 3rd location is just going to slow things down a little bit. These Zerglings trying to catch these Hellions out in the open. They do catch one, and they killed off.
Very nice move by Lenok.
That's very cute. Overlord is going to die, but it slows down mining at the 3rd base for a while, and also lets him know that that base is there. And oh, he actually is going to send those Zerglings in to kill those Marines.
Awesome! It's Christmas! Nom, 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 nom. And gone.
And oh, he should leave one there to block the command center again. Oh, Hellions trying to come in and clear off the Zerglings. Almost have the tables turned on them, but instead...
Oh, he's gonna crush them from 2 sides! He's gonna crush them from 2 sides! Oh, Lenok!
Beautiful surround. The Hellions do squeeze out from in between those pinchers, but most of the Marines die, all the Marines die rather, and a couple of Hellions do bite the dust.
Burrow the Zergling, he burrowed it, yeah.
Nice.
So he has to use another scan. Very well played by Lino. First of all, he's trying to catch those Marines. He used the Overlord to spread the creep. MMA reacted, sent over 5 Marines. Lenok saw his chance to take down a few Marines, went in with the Zerglings. Upon the Hellions arriving, he crushed them from 2 sides and kills all the Marines at the same time. Now burrows a Zergling and forces another scan. Very nice play by Lenok so far, and MMA must be quite a bit annoyed by his Zerg opponent.
Yes, indeed. Medevacs are coming out now as well. He's got 2 already out. Actually 3 and 4. Joining up with his army soon. 5 and 6 probably to be produced pretty soon.
it's really nice to see how Lenok is actually trying to prevent his opponent from getting being aggressive. He's just having those circlings in place in order to use run-bys, and MMA has to scan ahead the whole entire time, and Lenok is trying to, he's going for the run-by. Very well done. He needs to be careful though. MMA is now going for the attack. He has a lot of Marines, and the Lings are going to arrive. There's the bunker. Is he going to defend the bunker? He is attacking.
That bunker is almost invincible in that spot. Surrounded by buildings and SCVs repairing it on the other side. That was a beautiful bunker. That one bunker preventing all those Lings from doing any damage.
He could have gone for whole position and tried to attack the SCVs.
Yeah, he could have, yeah, but still, the bunker wouldn't have gone down, so he wouldn't have had free reign, and the Zerglings would have died eventually. Anyway, point being though, Lenok's in a little bit of trouble from this push from MMA. He comes in with those Lings from the other side, but they just get slaughtered. Oh no, not the best timing. He didn't go in with his Banelings and Mutas at the same time. They were a little bit off target at the same time, and loses all of his Lings. Does force MMA to turn back home for now though.
What was really important for MMA in this particular encounter was that he already completed his Blue Flame upgrade for the Hellions, so the Zerglings didn't have a chance against the Hellions, but all of them died eventually. And now we have the Mutalisks, and they are able to put a lot of pressure on those Marines. A little bit of a micromanagement right there. He needs to be careful. There's so many Marines, 67 of them, and we have Banelings everywhere, and obviously Lenok, a player who loves to borrow Banelings, so MMA needs to be very, very careful. He needs to scan ahead on a constant level.
Here's an interesting thing though. These Zerglings have been doing pretty well in general so far, but 2-2 just finished for MMA, and Lenok is still on 1-1 because he's been only upgrading off one Evo chamber, so now MMA is going to have a real big advantage if it's Marines versus Zerglings. The Zerglings will be extremely impotent against the Marine armies.
And what Lenok does to counter exactly this particular problem is he builds an infestation pit so that he can access Hive, and of course he wants to go for the fungal. So let's see how that's going to work out. We have 3 upgrades already for MMA, by the way. He is doing a really good job.
Oh, 1 medevac, 2, almost 2 medevacs that were rallied to that army get picked off. He does get some damage on those Mutalisks.
Oh, and he has Banelings in his run-by army as well, trying to force a cancel on that fourth base, and he will be able to force the cancel. And look at all those Banelings!
We're all in the middle line. Oh, he goes for the bunker first.
A drop in the main base of Lenok though. There's a small drop and he needs to retreat. We haven't called that on camera. The drop needed to retreat. So very well done by Lenok. He was at 2 places at a time. And this 3rd base is under a lot of pressure.
Yeah, he's trying to go after the brand new 4th of Lenok. But Banelings and Zerglings are going to shut him down. More Zerglings coming into the now undefended 3rd of MMA. He's forced to bring his Marines over here in large numbers. That bunker is gone. Beautiful move by Lenok to eliminate that bunker. Oh no! Medevac's getting caught by the Mutas. 2 go down. 3 go down. 4. Oh, the 4th does not go down. But 3 Medevacs caught for free by that huge Muta ball. How many Mutas does he have now?
25. Yes, 25 Mutas. And another drop in the main base. Not clear just yet. Here come the Medivacs. It's the same dropship, and it was already halfway down. Oh! That was
not sieged up in time. Oh, all these Banelings that are going to get... Oh, a few of them do actually finish morphing just in time. Here's the thing, though. 3-3 is about to begin. We're going to have Marines that are 3 upgrades up on the Zerglings, and they're just going to have... Basically, they're going to be able to ignore Zerglings. The Banelings are still a problem, though, obviously. If you can target them down, the tanks are unseized. They do siege up and picks off those Banelings.
And he kills so many tanks and medivacs by now. So all the tech units are gone. Very nice pickoffs by Lenok. And this is just a back and forth game right now. We have Lenok and MMA exchanging punches the entire time, while the player from Team Slayers has now secured a 4th base, as has Lenok, but it's under constant pressure from the Terran player. Finally, we have the Greater Spire morphing. Oh, Pathogen Glance is done. +3 attack being queued up for Lenok.
Oh, and he's attacking the 4th of Lenok down at the bottom right, while his main army is occupying the rest of it. The drones burrow, but the hatchery will die.
Very
a
well
nice
done
drop
by MMA, and he would actually benefit greatly from a Thor. One Thor against all those Mutalisks could definitely help a lot in his army mix. And prevent the Mutalisks from constantly picking off tech units.
He has picked off so many tanks and medevacs with those Mutalisks. They have done just absolute wonders for his war effort, and they have been such a pain in MMA's side. Again, taking out more stray Marines here. Just beautiful play with these mutas.
Here comes another drop play. The 4th base of MMA is secure. Lino not able to do enough damage. And the drop is about to start at the top right, but at the same time MMA is moving in with the Marines. Here's the drop. Hold position for the Marines so that they don't reach into the Spire's range.
And he's going to be able to clean that up with some Lings and Bades.
But Lino is losing ground now. Lino is losing ground. 58 Harvesters against 58. Will the Broodlords be able to tip the scales? We have MMA with another drop in the main base. He tries to be at all places at once, tries to be a nuisance, and he sure is. 143 supply for Lino. MMA on 190 already.
MMA is looking strong here. He is 1 base ahead of Lenok right now, in addition to having a 35 supply lead. He's going to have to pull off something miraculous with those Broodlords. He's going to get some 10 supply for free. That's a nice little kill for those mutas, but he's still behind. He's still going to have to pull off something. He has 7 Broodlords. He's going to have 7 Broodlords in a moment, actually. There's a few almost done morphing. There are the Broodlords. There's Infestors around as well. He's got to play this perfectly if Lenok's going to survive this and keep his 4th base.
At the same time, we have MMA adding 3 Ghost Academies. He wants to go for nukes now, and he sure can. He's getting a 5th base. After Lenok did a good job in the early game, MMA is now pulling ahead even more and finally adding those Thors that will help him a lot with the defending against the Mutalisks. The 4th base is killed once again. MMA is on the verge of defeating Lenok and therefore pulling their score ahead to 5-3.
4-3. Not quite a win yet.
You're right.
No, you're right. We both predict that, whoever FXO is going to send out next, MMA is going to have the advantage and definitely going to be the favorite. But yeah, it looks like it is almost certain that MMA is going to win this game. That is for sure. Lenok had 1 chance with the Broodlords to try and make something happen, and it didn't.
Did you see that poster on the map? Real man, drill deep.
No, I didn't see that.
Okay.
Wow. Yeah, I'm hoping we get to see those nukes, but it might end before that happens because this is not looking good at all for Lenok. He's trying for like the 5th time to get that base up in the right side of the map at about the 230 location, but it's going to get shut down again before it even finishes morphing. He might even have to cancel it. Yeah, he's forced to cancel that expansion. The drones try and burrow. The scan goes off. The drones die regardless. I think this is one last push for Lenok. He's going to try and take out this army one last time.
He has 1 mining base now. He's on 30 Harvesters, and even if he clears this army, it doesn't look good for Lenok. 70 army supply against 120. The Broodlords are doing a good job, but it may be too late. Another drop in the main base, a huge drop with tanks and Thors. At the same time, a bunch of tanks in the back, picking off Banelings and Infestors. This is a horrible situation for Lenok to be in.
Infestation pick goes down, spawning pool goes down. There's a couple tanks being killed off by Broodlords, but I think it's just too late. And the Hive is going to die. He won't even be able to remake his Infestation Pit. Ladies and gentlemen, Slayers MMA has stopped the Zerg landslide from FXO, has held it up with his bare hands, and is trying to push it back up the mountain, winning 2 games in a row. And the nukes are on the way just to seal the deal. But at a 94 supply to 183, MMA has this in the bag, and we're going to see GG in just a few seconds here, I think.
5 bases against 2. We have only 1 mining base for Lenok.
GG.
And he leaves the game with a GG. And therefore the 4-2-3 for Team Slayers against FXO. visibly disappointed. Lenok. Here's Team
Wow.
Slayers MMA.
Well, you
So
know,
well played.
I said before that MMA was usually their final pick, and someone, you know, and I said, well, no, there could be more after him, but you know what? If he just wins all the rest of the games, then he is their final pick regardless. So MMA has one match left, one single game.
What do you think
between him and victory for his team?
I think they're going to pick Oz now.
I can't think of anyone else on their team that is strong enough to go up against MMA right now, to be honest with you. Oz is extremely good.
Yeah, Oz would.
When I say that I give MMA the advantage, I don't want to take anything away from Oz, but I still think he's got his work cut out for him.
Oh, definitely, definitely. It will be a very, very hard game to win. MMA is just a beast. That guy is a monster, and therefore this will be very, very hard. But I think too that Oz is the player that they will send out now. We'll see in a few seconds, I guess. They are currently just talking and thinking about who's going to play the next game, and it might be the final match for today.
Yeah, very, very likely will be. Well, I don't want to say very, very likely, but you're right. Could be the final game for today, regardless of who they send out, because MMA, very, very strong player, of course. GSL winner of all kinds of other stuff as well. Ranked number 4 in GSL points. Wow, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough for whoever they send out there to deal with MMA. We're going to find out in just a second, though, who it's going to be, who FXO is going to send out. It's going to be their last hope, and their last player has to defeat not just MMA, but Ryung or Ganji or someone like that on the opposite side as well. They have to get a double kill against 2 of the strongest players on Slayers in a row in order to win the victory. It's going to be tough, but we've seen bigger comebacks before.
Yep. We definitely have, and I mean, this is Team League, so you have to play best of ones, and you can always surprise a player playing a little bit cheesy, trying an unusual strategy, and if he doesn't scout well enough, you might be able to just take down that one game. So it's not like we are playing best of 3s now. In a best of 1, everything is possible.
True.
This is FXOpen.
And who's it going to be? He's stretching his arms. He's warming up his hands. It is going to be none other than FXO Oz. There he is, going into the battle booth, preparing himself for one of his toughest stage matches. And there's the Slayers team talking amongst themselves, trying to give MMA some last advice before he gets back into the booth. Giving him some support. He's talking with Boxer and Sella right now about what he should do. And there's Oz, though, warming up, or about to get warmed up. He is Code S. Oz has really, really come out of nowhere the last season or 2 and shown his stuff. You know, I gotta admit, Oz was one of those players that everyone told me, oh man, he's really good. And I was like, all right, well, I'll believe it when I see it. Well, guess what? I've seen it, ladies and gentlemen. He is spectacular. Extremely strong player.
It's going to be a hard match nonetheless. You're perfectly right about it.
Yep.
It's not like Oz is bad or anything, but defeating MMA is definitely something that is not an easy accomplishment. So Oz is certainly one of the players who has it in him to win this game, but it's going to be a tough one. It's going to be a real toughie. So let's see who is going to take this game. If Oz is able to tie the series once again and force the ace match, or if we have a 5-3 win for Team Slayers in today's Clan War.
Indeed. And there's their manor banners. There we have the head-to-head. Oz on the left versus MMA on the right. Both men of very few letters, but very high skill. Who's it going to be? We're going to find out very, very soon. Has the countdown begun, actually? Looks like nope, we're actually not quite ready to go yet. But yeah, this is going to be really, really tough for Oz. I mean, Oz has shown himself to be extremely, extremely good, but versus Terran is actually his weakest matchup. He would be much more comfortable playing against another Protoss or against a Zerg player. Terran players, he's only won under half of his games, so it's going to be really tough for him. Not only is he playing basically one of the top 2 Terrans in the world, but he's playing in a matchup he's not as comfortable with, so it is going to be really difficult for him.
Gonna be pretty difficult indeed, so let's see what Oz can do in this game. This is going to be a very good one. And I would love a last 9th game, but still this is going to be quite an exciting match. And we are heading into the game, ladies and gentlemen.